What's up, YouTube? Check this out. 2020 Tracer 900 GT. Yeah, I just picked this up a little while ago, about 2,000 miles on it. I added these. Added some highway pegs because I ride it down the freeway about 150 miles a day. I added phone mount. Has already charging, so I added this little 18-incher here. I added these to get the wind up off my knuckles a little bit. It's been cold in the morning. And I added this. This is a game changer, believe it or not. So I figured we'd go on a little short ride. Let you guys check it out. Adjustable windshield up and down, having a lower position around town. I'll have some good videos coming soon. I'll put the 5-liter in there. And we'll get my car a little over 900 horsepower, over 800 the wheels, so we'll do a little something on that as well. So yeah. Let's go for a small little ride. Check this thing out. Real nice display. I have it set in night mode all the time. I like the way it looks better. Oh, look at that. Let's get gas. Hope we can make that. Let's go for a little cruise. And we'll talk about the bike a little bit. Yeah, this thing right here, oh man. It's not about the wind, it's about the buffeting this bike gives you in your head. It gives you a damn headache going down the road. But I'm gonna put the shield down. I got this in the lower position right here. You squeeze this little handle. You can lift it up, squeeze it, set it back down. This is the Yamaha Tracer 900 GT. I believe it's like a 847 or something cc, triple. Never ridden one of these before, and I mean they just got like honestly amazing reviews on everywhere. And when I went down to look at the KTMs, they were just outrageously priced. You know, and I don't think I'd be, the 890 would just be, this felt like a small bike. This one feels much larger. Like I said, I have about 2,000 miles on it. And I'm averaging 48 miles a gallon, ripping down the freeway at like 85. When I first got it, the RPM just felt a little high. So I bought a 17-tooth sprocket for the front, left the back stock, and that tamed it down about, I don't know, 300-ish RPM, which is just enough on the highway, and no real change around town that I've noticed. So it works out perfect. It's got A, B in standard mode right here on the switch. It's got traction control 1, 2, and off. It's in 1 right now, and I have it in mode A. I think all that really does is mess with your throttle. So a little faster throttle mapping, that's what it feels like. I don't think there's any more power in the bike. I don't think they adjust timing or nothing like that. It's got the quick shifter up, but not down. And I've noticed it works best after third gear and when you're on the throttle. I don't like, it's kind of clunky if you're just kind of cruising normal. So if you're, the harder you are on the bike with the quick shifter, the better it feels and the easier transition. All right, I'm gonna get some fuel and then we'll continue on. All right, fuel's good, we're full. Let's get on this little quick ride we got going on here. So yeah, like I said, this I wasn't sure, you know, about this. And with this whole COVID thing, you know, you can barely sit on a bike at the dealer, let alone test ride it. Got a smoking deal on this bike. I think I got it for like 10.3, and then all the crap that goes with it. So that's a good deal. Can't beat that. Comes with the saddlebags, the hard bags, lockable. So that's kind of nice. They're not real big. Adjustable lights, which are really nice. You just turn them so I can have the high beam on more than not blinding people in front of me. Hand guards come with it. I added the extensions on top. Plenty of power. It's a real thin bike for California, so splitting lanes is not a big deal. Mode A, traction control off, easily pull the wheel up. It's a nice little wheelie bike. Heated grips, cruise control. Now the cruise control, unlike my Harley Davidson I had, this only works in 6th gear. If you know something different about that, let me know, but I can only get this to work in 6th gear, and it works great. The riding position's a little tall. It's kind of the bike it doesn't know what it is, right? So if you look at my legs, they're kind of tilted back like a sport bike, but when you're riding, you're sitting up like kind of like an adventure touring bike almost. So I added the engine guards, and I added these pegs that I got on Amazon right here, and they just kind of get your leg out there a little bit more comfortable for that longer ride. Like I said, this is going to be my full-time riding bike to work. You can change the mode as long as you're not touching the throttle. You cannot change the traction control unless you're stopped, which is fine. The riding position, yeah. So the seat that comes with this, which is the stock factory seat, it's a little hard. I think over the last 2.5, 3 weeks I've had the bike, it's broken in pretty well. But it shows you forward. Like the back's a lot higher than the front. So what I did is I put the front in the top position. The rear of the seat, I took off the little tabs underneath it on the seat, the rubber tabs, and I dropped it back to the low position. That seems like it flattened it out a little better, so a little bit more comfortable. We're gonna jump on the freeway here real quick. We'll raise this up so we don't get any kind of buffeting on there. I'm not sure what the camera sees, but I can see over the top of this fine. I can see the tires in that car in front of me. So that doesn't inhibit anything, and looking through it, it's not too shabby. But it doesn't take away noise or any kind of wind you get. But it does take the buffeting. I mean, here we are at 90. I'm not really getting, barely in the very, very top of my head, I'm getting some buffeting. A little bit. Cruise control light on, we'll just set that. So nice cruise control. Oop, I was in fifth. So here we go, cruise control. So yeah, this bike is pretty nice, man. I'm happy with it. It's just a little weird. You're in a really upright position. Like, I feel as if I'm on top of the bike, not in the bike. And I like to feel like I'm in the bike, like a deep saddle, higher seat. I mean, deep saddle, higher tank, higher rear seat. So I feel like I'm in it. I think it's maybe in my head that I feel a little more safe that way. I mean, here we are at 90, just cruising around 5,600 RPM. And just turn the throttle and there's 100, so it's not bad. I find myself, it's about 75 miles to my work, mostly highway this way. And yeah, I'm not uncomfortable at all, actually. Like, when I got this, I put 200 miles on it in one day with a friend of mine, and I wasn't real sore. The additional highway pegs did make a difference. About an hour into it, I could stretch my legs out and rest them rather than trying to just keep them out hanging. So that was kind of nice. Stock exhaust on it. I don't know if I'm going to mess with that. I think I might leave that alone. This runs too good. Then you got to do a tuner and all the other stuff. And I was looking at exhaust on this thing, and they're like, man, they're $1,000 or more. And that's not why I bought it. I have other toys for that. I still have the Buell, although I will admit I haven't ridden it much since buying this. Yeah, I mean, we're cruising here at 60. I can, this is the open, and I'm not really getting any wind at all. I don't feel anything. Even if I lower this down a little bit, there it goes, there's a little bit more. But this right here is worth the $24 or whatever it is. I got that on Amazon. I recommend that if you got this bike. I am 5'11", and my inseam 33. So that gives you an idea of what I'm feeling on the bike. Without that, if I open up, I got a Shoei 1200, and if I open up the chin opening here, without that, it's deafening in my ears. I mean, it's really loud. With this, I open it up, I don't notice it. So that's something for you as well. What else can I say? I have not adjusted the suspension. It feels really good the way it is. I'll probably work on that this week. I'm getting about 200 miles to a tank. So that's good. It's about, I think it's a 5-gallon tank. The RPMs of this bike goes to 11.3. I don't think I've had it above 9. It just revs out really good. That was 9 with a, so there's no reason for it yet. Bike feels really light. When you come into a corner or you go to the mountains like I did a few weeks ago, the bike just, it hits a line and it just stays there. Unbelievable. Do some quick shifting. Yeah, works really well. But like I said, it works really well when you're on it. It's seamless. If you're not on it, it's clunky. And I'm still in mode A, which is their sport mode. It's a little jerky because the throttle is really sensitive with mode A. Standard mode, which we'll go to now, is just a normal mode. It's just normal. It feels good. Mode B, it's like for rain, sand, inclement weather. I'd put that on there, and it's really noticeable. You got a lot of time difference between the throttle and the reaction of the bike. So far, the only bad thing about this bike would be the seat pushes you forward, which I'll fix that. Man, I don't know. And the 17 front sprocket. I think it should have came from the factory as a sport touring bike with the 17 front. It just revs out too much on the highway. And if they want to call this a touring bike, it needs to just chill out a little bit. With me putting that 17 on there, it kind of mellowed it out around town. So that made it a little bit better. Mode A is not so twitchy with the 17. Yeah, man, you got mode A here. I just put in mode A. Traction control 1, it feels like that front wheel just bounces off the ground. So do them little bitty wheelies, mode A will let that happen. Mode B stops that real quick. But yeah, it's kind of fun because you can get on that thing as hard as you want and knowing that you're not going to loop it, and you can feel the front wheel just tapping on the ground just a little bit. Yeah, so my new daily ride for commuting back and forth to work. And I tell you, I dig this thing, man. I do. The bags are kind of small. There's a little bit of room in there. They leave this is nice, so when I pack my jacket and stuff in there, I open it up, it just doesn't fall out. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, there we go. Comes with the center stand, right? Which is super easy. This bike is so light that it just goes up on the center stand. This is nice. Right now I'm riding a solo, so I have it half turned to soft, half a click. But if I load it down, I can go back to hard and go one more click, just like that, without adjusting everything in here. So that's pretty slick right there. I like that. I did change out the pegs. I put the adventure pegs on here. If you look these up, these are, man, FZ09. Amazon, like $8. And they are legit Yamaha pegs. They have the number underneath. This made it nice. I don't feel the vibrations in my foot like I did with the metal pegs. I think some of the new bikes, only one light works. So this is your low beam, this is your high beam. So you can turn this knob on both sides and raise and lower the light. I lowered this light a little bit so I can get away with running my high beam more often. Yep, there she is. All right, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, whatever it is, throw it down there.